momentarily.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, great. So I'll get started. Greetings, my SNPhA constituents. I would like to thank God for giving me this platform to speak to you all today. Present amongst you gratefully to share my journey with the best servants our profession has to offer. You see, I lost my mother to cancer not even a year before pharmacy school. She was my introduction to pharmacy during our treatment at the Johns Hopkins Hospital. 4 years ago, I promised her I would make a difference in healthcare. Now in a position to do just that, I want to thank you for helping me find a purpose we together can create impactful change with. My name is Kofi Owusu, and I am humbled to run for National Vice President of our beloved organization. Forward together, these words embody how I plan to lead our organization into our underserved neighborhoods. These words serve as motivation to uplift our brothers and sisters every day we put on our white coats. Forward together is how I plan to ensure the success of every man and woman listening today. It is critical to touch on our country's state of social injustice, police brutality, and inequity in healthcare. Representing the most diverse and qualified pharmacy professionals around the country, it is only right we lead with passion in pursuit of justice for our Black community. I will educate our membership on how to actively denounce racism and inequity in healthcare at the interpersonal level, something we all can do on a day-to-day basis. You may ask of the actionable steps I plan to take. Firstly, I will develop and curate a SNPhA marketing and advertisement packet for our chapter leaders, utilizing my skills sharpened in multimedia as a professional photographer. Understanding chapters will start off virtually in the fall due to COVID-19, my marketing and advertisement packet will provide content and direction for chapter leaders across the country to elevate chapter engagement and recruitment. I also recognize SNPhA members love a good discount, am I right? I will utilize my platform to expand upon the different membership benefits of being a SNPhA member. Our current Vice President, Dr. Manungai, has done a wonderful job securing membership benefits for our membership, and I will see to it every member is fully aware of the plethora of corporate sponsorships that we have at our disposal. Additionally, I will maximize the utility of our membership with the goal to pivot underactive SNPhA chapters and increase our national reach to at least 85% of pharmacy schools across the country. We have a vision as an organization so unique, so timeless. As we expand our reach, it will be dynamic in nature as I plan to revamp our CAPS program, not just encouraging more chapter collaboration, but focusing on broadening the type of collaboration encouraged. Case in point, many are not aware of our interprofessional affiliation with the Student National Medical and Dental Associations. Promoting this type of interprofessional collaboration is something I plan to emphasize as we broaden our chapter collaborative efforts. I envision 10 years from now, the most prominent pharmacy leaders will be those amongst us today. Furthermore, as National Vice President, I will optimize our clinical services with our corporate sponsor Kroger and also our connection with prominent health systems and companies around the country. I plan to bring forth a clinical skills competition at the regional and national level, incorporating telemedicinal technology, such as EHR Go, that will mimic an electronic medical record. To increase incentive, I also will map out a plan to highlight winners nationally and reward them plentifully with monetary prizes and invaluable professional connections. It is time to lead the way and connect the pieces of our healthcare system, finding our strength and purpose as we become the light in our neighborhood for those in the dark, cementing our legacy for those to follow in our footsteps. Moving SNPhA forward together is how I plan on ensuring this and making sure this happens. Thank you all for having me today. I am truly honored.
Thank you, Kofi. So now we will open it up to the nominations committee to ask a question. Is that Joy?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Joy.
Okay, great. I'm sorry. How you doing, Kofi?
I'm doing well.
All right. So can you please list 3 characteristics you feel you possess that makes you a sensitive, effective leader? And also, give a specific example to illustrate the application of each to your work setting.
Okay. So the first characteristic that I bring to the table is versatility. As National Vice President, we have our delegation, we have obligations in many different aspects of the organization, and you have to be versatile. For one, we're in a pandemic and we have to be able to adapt to our situation. The best leaders can adapt. Two, I plan to bring fearlessness to our organization. Being in leadership that takes on a certain amount of risk, you have to be able to weigh the risk and benefits of what you do on a day-to-day basis, and you have to be able to lead fearlessly so that the membership understands they must lead fearlessly in our underserved neighborhoods as well. Third, we have to be diligent. We have to be definitely detail-oriented. As you see, throughout my campaign over the week, I touched on many prevalent barriers to public health service as a SNPhA chapter leader and also a leader on the national level. And we have to be detailed and strategic in how we go about mapping out our plan to serve the underserved during a time which they need us the most. These are the three characteristics that I plan to bring to the table, and understanding that during these unprecedented times, we will face conflict, we will face debacle, but we must stand strong together. Forward together is how I plan to implement this plan for our organization.
Thank you. Now we'll have a question from the general membership from Leslie Abina.
Hi, Kofi.
Hello.
How are you? Here's my question.
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Good. My question for you is, the National Vice President position holds many roles and responsibilities. However, the Vice President continuously supports the National President, National, Regional, local chapter leadership, as well as executive committee members. So what elements of your campaign platform aligns with these attributes?
Absolutely. So Forward Together embodies that exact question that you just gave me. As National Vice President, I plan to implement checkpoints from the regional, local, national level, all the way up until the national president and president-elect. As SNPhA Vice President, we serve as the ear to the national board, while the president and president-elect are out at conferences and meetings, vouching on behalf of the SNPhA organization. The National Vice President is the one that is solidifying, compiling all the problems down from the local level, and even our regional facilitators and our chairs to be able to communicate effectively to our president and president-elect things we need to do and touch on in order to uphold the strong legacy of our organization. And as National Vice President, I plan to do just that. Thank you for the question.
Great. Thank you, Kofi. So now we will transition to Tasharoche while Kofi has been sent to the waiting room rather swiftly.
Hello.
Hey, Tasha, how you doing?
Good. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can. So you can introduce yourself and begin with your speech whenever.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tasharoche, and I'm running to be your next National Vice President. I really do appreciate the opportunity everyone has taken to be here, and I hope you are doing all well. Texas Southern University is a historically Black college or university located in 3rd Ward, Houston, Texas, the heart and soul of Houston. I completed my prerequisites at TSU, where I became involved in SNPhA even before becoming a TSU pharmacy student. I love this community and recognize that 3rd Ward and the surrounding areas suffer greatly in health and nutrition, even with being just 15 minutes from the largest medical center in the country. Having the pillars of service and community instilled in me at a very young age, I believe I had the purpose to serve communities that did not have access to these resources. I simply knew I was called to serve. And I could answer this call in SNPhA because SNPhA has always been consistent in serving and providing a platform for minority communities. You know, whenever I think back to my introduction to SNPhA, it always feels like I'm being reunited with family. And as I began my journey as a TSU SNPhA president, it was really important for me to recreate this for my TSU SNPhA fam. We started with a strong vision for the future of our chapter, a dedicated e-board, and a devotion to the work before us. To briefly recap a little of what we were able to accomplish, together we impacted over 2,000 lives in the community over the span of 1 year, increased membership by 165% as we started off the year with only 28 members to expand to our current 83 members, and we ranked first as a medium-sized chapter and top 5 nationally. I am incredibly proud of the work that our SNPhA put in and the impact that we had in our community. These experiences have been so rewarding as I've become a finalist for this year's Chapter President of the Year. As your National Vice President, I believe we have the potential to do so much more together as a SNPhA. To begin with, 2 practical ways I hope to promote community, unity, and opportunity in our SNPhA is through hats on, caps off. A major responsibility as a vice president is to lead the nation through the CAPS initiative. I want to create a national directory that includes chapter information with contact information so that we can see collaboration throughout the nation. I want to see Washington State University work with the University of Tennessee. I want to see Wingate University work with the University of California so we can all increase our accessibility and activity in these CAPS events. Next, through sharpening our skills, we can create a nationwide restructuring of the clinical skills competition. We can incorporate a bracket-style advancement to the National Clinical Skills Competition through the initiation of local competition like our own NCAA, but SNPhA style. The winner would be able to continue to the regional conference, and thereafter, the regional winners would be able to compete at the national conference. So hopefully through this restructure, my goal is to increase SNPhA participation at the regional and national conferences as we all try to win those sought after prizes. Most importantly, I plan to implement unique ways to serve the underserved as we are all limited in our abilities due to social distancing. I plan to create a cultural competency series to discuss racial and social disparities in healthcare settings, especially during these times that we unfortunately still witness social injustice within our communities. I also want to create partnerships with SNPhA sponsors so we have patient education days so we can continue to stay a staple within the community. I truly think we are all called to be greater than ourselves, and I believe we can leave a legacy worth remembering. I really believe we have a unique opportunity over the next year to come together to help our community, especially when they need it the most, now more than ever. With the passion and a proven track record I have as a SNPhA leader, I ask for the opportunity to continue to serve you authentically as we enter these uncertain times. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. I really do appreciate the opportunity.
Great. So now we'll have a question presented by a member of the nominations committee, Joy.
Hey, Tasha.
Hi, Joy.
Can you please list 3 characteristics you feel you possess that makes you a sensitive, effective leader? And can you give a specific example to illustrate the application of each to your work setting?
Sure. So I think 3 examples or characteristics that I have to be a great leader would be being a great listener, being diplomatic, and being a great communicator. And I think this past year as a chapter president, I was able to use these qualities to be effective in leading my chapter. And so being a great listener, I think, is really important because you need to be able to take the criticism and the advice that a lot of your members or even outsiders would have to improve your chapter. I know it's not easy to listen to criticism, but it's really important for us to help the growth of our SNPhA. And also being diplomatic, having the opportunity to preside over about 30 chapter officers, there could be tension at times. So it's really important to be diplomatic and very professional in how we, don't lead to conflict. And being a great communicator, I think, is especially important being part of a SNPhA chapter because there's so many initiatives, there's so many things going on, and a lot of opportunities that we can take advantage as SNPhA members. And being a great communicator is the best way to get those opportunities to our SNPhA members, but also to our community that really needs us and sees us as a staple in the community.
Thank you. Now we'll have a question from the general membership, Ms. Leslie Abina.
There we go. Hi, Tasha.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi. So my question is, the National Vice President position holds many roles and responsibilities. However, the Vice President continuously supports the National President, national, regional, local chapter leaderships, as well as executive committee members. What elements of your campaign platform best aligns with these attributes?
Sure. So previously in the week before, when I was campaigning, there was something that I would like to implement as a vice president, and that's called Snacks and Facts. So I think it's a cool thing that we can do as as the vice president to have regional facilitators and chapter leadership meet like an hour before our monthly meetings and kind of meet each other. So the first time we're not able to meet is like regionals or nationals, and we can create that bond. And also, I think being a president, I had an amazing vice president to really help me accomplish the goals I needed. And so I feel having that expectation, I know what is expected to be a vice president. And I think even with a lot of my officers, I try to be very genuine in trying to help them as much as I could in whatever capacity I could. I would complete a lot of challenges to kind of help people when they didn't have the opportunity to. So I just feel like my ability to be a team player really helps me in this aspect of being a vice president.
Great. Thank you, Tasha.
Thank you.
So now we will proceed